our morning rounds, new concern over height and your heart. A large study in the New England Journal of Medicine adds to the growing evidence linking shorter stature to a greater risk of coronary artery disease. Our Dr. Tara Narula is a cardiologist at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York. Tara, good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
Okay, you're giving short people a complex this morning.
You're 5'3", by the way.
I am. I'm doomed. So we've known about a link since the 1950s between height and health. But what we didn't know is it really the height that's influencing your health, your heart health, or are there external factors like nutrition as a child or socioeconomic status? So what researchers did is they went to the DNA and they tried to do a genetic test. They looked at 200,000 individuals with heart disease and without and looked at specific areas in their genetic code that influence height and then tried to see if there was an association with coronary artery disease. What they found is for each 2.5 inches that you were shorter, you were at a 13.5% increased risk of coronary artery disease. So if you were 5 foot, you were 30% higher chance of getting coronary artery disease than someone who's 5'6".
If you're shorter, are you more likely to be overweight, and that's why you might have heart disease?
So they thought that that kind of thing might be the most likely culprit. So they looked at 12 risk factors like blood pressure and weight and diabetes to see, well, is it really that that's causing it? And what they found is that of all the risk factors, only LDL and triglycerides had a significant association. But even that could only explain 30% of what they saw.
So what does that mean? Sorry. Yeah.
Right, so there's a lot of other hypotheses about what might be going on. For instance, if you're shorter, you have smaller caliber, diameter coronary arteries that might be easier for those arteries to get blocked over time. What the researchers propose is that there are shared biologic pathways. So the same pathways that produce increased bone and muscle growth through hormones and proteins might also be causing increased cell growth in the artery walls or inflammation. And then the third possible theory is that, well, maybe taller people somehow live healthier lifestyles. They exercise more, they smoke less, and maybe that's what we're really seeing.
And the same for men and women?
In this study, we only saw the association for men. Previous research has shown that the same association exists for women. It may be that in this study there were less women looked at, so we really couldn't detect a difference.
Any downside to being tall?
So the research in the past has unfortunately shown that taller people may be at higher risk of cancer. They have more cells in the body, more cellular turnover. So if you're taller, higher risk of cancer. If you're shorter, maybe higher risk of heart disease. And if you're shorter, you live longer. So there is a little bit of a benefit.
Who's happier, short or tall?
I think everybody's happy, or at least they should be.
Especially sitting at this table. How can you not be?
You gotta love your body either way,
exactly.
Short or tall.
Yeah, I mean, that's
life.
right. You're born at that,
You can't
whatever
control that.
your height is.
Yeah,
you
and
can't control that.
the bottom line is we're not going to tell somebody when they come into our office, you're 5'2", you take a statin, you're 5'6", don't. I mean, the same risk factors for heart disease right now are the same ones for tall or short people.
Nora lifts weights before the show. I think that may be the key. Dr. Narula, thank you.
Anger management.
Thank
very
you.
much.